People explains all about Marilyn Monroe's alleged affairs with JFK and Brother Bobby. Any of y'all out there old school, remember this rumor back in the day? Oh yeah, that Marilyn Monroe had an affair with both JFK and Bobby. Decades after Marilyn Monroe died in 1962, mystery surrounds her relationship with President John F. Kennedy and brother Robert F. Kennedy, and the suspicious circumstances on the day that she died. Now, I'm not going to get into how she died and all that. The point I am making here is when there is sex involved, it's going to get talked about. You know it and I know it. It's going to get talked about. There's Bobby, I believe, and there's John, right? That is John Fitzgerald. Marilyn Monroe stands in between Robert F. Kennedy and President John F. Kennedy during a party at the home of movie executive Arthur Krim on May 19th, 1962. Oops, there she is. Now you might say, well, Pearson, why are you bringing this up? Well, people, Bobby Kennedy was the Attorney General. And guess what happened today? Alert! Former Congressman Matt Gaetz withdraws his name from Attorney General consideration. Well, how does all that tie in? Did you know that once he became unalive, people have said that it was his intent as a Attorney General to find out who unalived him? So, if he got denied and became Attorney General, if I am right and Trump becomes unalived, what do you think his role would be? Come on now, work with me. And Attorney General just happened to be 81, right? And we knew that Joe Biden just had a birthday, now he's 82. Point being, coincidence, Attorney General comes out in gematria, comes out to 81. I take this more as a system of things, the 81. The opposition that wants to keep him from getting that position. Just my speculation. But I have something at the end. I guarantee you it's going to blow your mind as to why he's not going to be up in there and bowed out. Okay, just work with me. It's deep. It's deep. Now let's listen. Okay? Check it out.
We have breaking news this hour. Matt Gaetz is stepping down from his nomination to Attorney General of the United States. Many said this was the most contentious of the nominations made by former President Trump. And he has announced categorically that he will not be seeking confirmation to the post of Attorney General. Here are his words. I had an excellent meeting with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many. While the momentum was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition. There's no time to waste on a needlessly protracted Washington scuffle. Thus, I'll be withdrawing my name from consideration to serve as Attorney General. Trump's DOJ must be in place and ready on day one. I remain fully committed to seeing that Donald J. Trump is the most successful president in history. Look, Griff, this was quick. I mean, the appointment came as a surprise to many, and we will see what happens.
And he's right. We don't need no static. And I told John in 2 different videos, Trump, we don't need no static because Trump got to be ready. Because this is going to be arguably the most delicate administration in our lifetime. And AG and Homeland Security, they about to get busy. But again, if I'm right, if Trump becomes unalive, you know good and well this man was going to have to...
We know the deputy is Todd Blanche. That was Trump's...
We know that this man was going to have to investigate it. And he a bulldog. What if I told you that fate was sandwiching him? I'm going to say it again. What if I told you that fate was sandwiching this gentleman here? 81, right? Reverse reduction, Attorney General. But check this out. When is JFK's birthday?
According to the White House, Kennedy was the youngest man elected.
That's his birthday. But look at his death date. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the death of JFK. And today is the day that what? Matt Gaetz retired. And yesterday, well, today is the day that Matt Gaetz retired, and tomorrow is JFK's birthday. But yet, yesterday, who was 81? Joe Biden. This is so peculiar. This man is sandwiched. But in the future, he might be patting his lucky star. Hint, hint. Check it out.
Or rather, counterterrorism intelligence. Yes. I mean, all the things you cover every day.
And there's no doubt, Andrea, that whoever comes next in this process will also be a person tasked with carrying out Donald Trump's stated vendetta against the Justice Department and the FBI. But there was really deep concern inside the FBI and Justice Department about this particular nominee, in part because there are people who work over there who investigated him on a criminal basis. There are people whose job it is to investigate sex trafficking. And they were confronted with the idea that a person accused of sex trafficking was going to be their boss. But as you said, and leaving aside that case, then you go to the qualifications issue. Mr. Gaetz had barely practiced law, had not held any job that was remotely akin to running a huge department like this. And as you said, this is not just the top legal officer in the United States. The Attorney General is a very important national security figure with access to some of the same intelligence that the president gets, with access to very secret information about counterintelligence investigations by the FBI, FISA warrants. So there...
It's deep, y'all. It's deep. When you compare him to like a guy named like Eric Holder, Eric Holder's got his own law firm, right? Eric Holder was the Attorney General under Obama. Eric Holder Law Firm. See? Eric Holder. This guy here. You might not have liked him, but hey, he's dealing with litigation all the time. So in comparison, there's really no comparison, right? Other than loyalty and trust of someone. It's deep, y'all. Let me go further.
The announcement comes amid this fight over this report from the Ethics Committee yesterday. Members of that committee in the House voted along party lines to, for now, keep it under wraps. But elements of that investigation are starting to leak out into the public. The New York Times had this graph of a web of payments going between Gaetz and his friends and these women. Is that, slow trickle, the prospect of the slow trickle of details of this report continuing to spill out in the public, part of the reason why you think this ended up sinking?
Well, there's certainly two elements to this. There's the DOJ investigation, which of course was closed earlier this year without charges. Senate Democrats and other Democrats are pushing to get details from the FBI investigation that went into that to actually see what they uncovered. Simultaneous, you also have the House Ethics Committee, which has been investigating off and on for the past 3 years these allegations surrounding Gaetz. And so now there is certainly going to be...
And let's be clear, when they first had the first investigation, nothing transpired. He kept on serving the public. But now one of the questions is, right, logically, he's from Florida. He just gave up his seat last week. right? And Ron DeSantis, if I'm not mistaken, has already got an exploratory committee trying to figure out who's going to take that Florida position as senator. So now, does Matt Gaetz run as independent? Oh, it's so much going on, people. But yeah, they didn't want to. I believe it appears to me. I know that it's two wings of the same bird many times in these situations, but every now and then there's some birds, there's some wings that's on the bird that they just ain't trusting you sometime at certain levels. And who knows? He might have been a firecracker that they really can't control. In other words, do people in these alleged power positions, do they turn on each other? They do. They do. They do. Now, this is what I said earlier. I did this video. I did 2 videos last week on it. I said, Gaetz under fire again. Will Trump move on? So let me play a few clips and then I'm going to show you these numbers because they're fascinating. It tells a story beyond the norm. So let's play this here. Sheriff position in town. I mean, what was Trump thinking? I didn't bring it up a few days ago because I didn't want y'all getting down my throat. I'll piss and there you go with the negative. I'm like, okay. I wrestled with it. I'm like, but I knew y'all knew about it. I knew y'all knew. It was all over the news. In fact, it's been off and on in the news the last few years. I say they won't let it go. So why would Trump even take that chance? You know, this thing got some history with a Speaker of the House. Hello? This thing got some history with the Speaker of the House. Allegedly. And they've been going back and forth. One tried to get the other out the way, allegedly. And McCarthy lost that battle. Remember that about a year ago? Oh, we're going to get into that. But let's play. So it could get deep, people. You know, they have a thing in politics and in life called strange bedfellows. Strange bedfellows. You can actually be a Republican and have Democratic friends and vice versa. And McCarthy was Speaker of the House. I'm sure with his years of experience as Speaker, he's got friends still up in there. In fact, you see him on the network every now and then. You can just speculate at this point that, hey, you got some people that can do some things to make it hard for Gaetz in the future, especially when it comes down to his nomination, because some folks might have been feeling some type of way that he led the charge. Remember, look, this is recent history. Gaetz led a charge to get McCarthy out of there, former Speaker of the House. They say payback is a... Come on, man. It's so much going on. You can speculate all day, but he might be kissing his lucky star in the future because something going to pop off, people. I'm telling y'all, it's going to pop off. Now, let me show you these dates. I want you to really hold tight and watch this here because I believe he is the modern day Bobby Kennedy. With a twist. I really believe. After I show you this, you'll see. I believe Matt Gaetz is the modern day Bobby Kennedy. Or could have been. You know what I'm trying to say. He's the one that if Trump becomes unalive would have investigated this thing. And you know what happened to Bobby Kennedy. I'm just keeping it real. Do your homework. Robert F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, was a strong advocate for the Warren Commission's findings on the, you know what, of his brother, President John F. Kennedy. However, he privately believed that the Warren Commission was a shady piece of craftsmanship and that others were involved in his brother's demise. Kennedy spent the rest of his life secretly searching for the truth about his brothers And then, if I'm not mistaken, Bobby ran for president, and you know what happened. I'm just keeping it real. It's Bobby Kennedy to me all over with a twist. But he's just not going to go that far, it appears. Now, here's Trump's birthday, 6/14/1946. And here's Gaetz' birthday, May 7th, 1982. Look at that. Put them together. 6/14/2023. Trump's birthday a year before this year. And here's Matt Gaetz' birthday this year, 5/7/2024. Do you know they have 47 weeks in between their birthdays? How is that possible, people? Ain't that something? And Trump's the 47th president? Come on, man. But watch this. Here's Robert Kennedy. He just had a birthday, y'all. The same day as Biden. Oh, yeah. And here's his death date, 6/6/1968. Now watch this. 11/20/1982. That's the year I'm going to use because Gaetz was born 5/7/1982. Make sure I got this right. 5/7/1982 for Matt Gaetz. So, if we take Matt Gaetz 5/7/1982, subtracted from 11/20/1982, just pair up the same 1982, Bobby Kennedy's birthday. Look at the difference in between their dates, people. Come on, man! This is crazy! I told y'all it was off the chain. 6 months and 14 days. What is 6/14? Hello? What is 6/14? Trump was born June 14th, baby. That's crazy. I told you, he's the modern day Bobby. This is crazy. Bobby's birthday versus Matt Gaetz's birthday. It comes out to Trump's birthday. Come on, man. That's crazy. Nah. Let me tell you what makes it more interesting. I did this video a few days ago. 7 days ago, I did this video. It says, Trump picks Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard. What's really going on? I had no idea I'd be using this in the future. You see, because this is the first day that these two guys met. Okay? That was on the 13th. He invited him to the White House. A little fireside chat. Y'all remember, what was that? What was that? Theodore Roosevelt? Right. Put in the comment section. Little fireside chat. Fireside chat. Few marshmallows and some cocoa. And I believe Joe had on a purple tie. But guess what? I believe this is Bobby Kennedy, y'all. And maybe it was speaking to the present. Because like I said, 81. And guess what? 81 was hosting him. And maybe 81 knew that Gaetz was coming. And he said, hey, I'm going to sit up here and get along with you and play the role in front of camera. I'm just speculating, allegedly. But I got a plan. Because we're not going to let this jump off in the future. The modern day Matt Gaetz, oh, I ain't feeling that. Like I told y'all before. And don't get insulted. This man is a puppy in politics. This guy been around 36 years as a senator. You feel me? 8 years as VP and 3.5 years doing this. In fact, when you do the math, it's 47 years, right? Let's do the math. 36, 8, and 3. 36, 40. That's 47 years, y'all. This guy been, God, isn't that something? This dude been around for 47 years in politics, starting in Delaware as a senator. He would have no idea the type of, what he can say. Look, like I told you, I believe it is two wings of the same bird. But you got egos involved here. Oh, I'm gonna welcome you. But you ain't gonna be doing no investigations. Now with this dude, no you ain't. Put in the comment section, did you think about that? What do you think? Listen to what I said a few days ago. Listen to this. Today, Trump met with Mr. B in the house. In the house. Yes, he did. And you know what struck me the most about all this? It was so plastic, right? The fiery furnace going on, and they both been going on at it since Moses went to see the Lord up on the mountain. And all of a sudden, they can work it out. But I tell you one thing, if I'm not mistaken, this is a purple tie. That is Phoenician. And if I'm not mistaken also, this is Bobby Kennedy. Pearson, that's deep. If that's Bobby Kennedy, this is deep. You know why? Because Bobby Kennedy is the brother of JFK. Bobby became unalive after JFK did. But Kennedy would relate to him because he admires Kennedy. And they both these men were at Arlington National Cemetery. He was at National Cemetery yesterday, Arlington National Cemetery yesterday. And I said Memorial Day, I apologize. Yesterday it was Veterans Day. On one of my videos I said Memorial Day by accident, but you guys know what I meant. Veterans Day, President Biden was there yesterday. But exactly 78 days before that, he was there. That's not coincidence. JFK is buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Lot 45, and he was the 45th president. Now they're together. So this Kennedy is Jack Kennedy's, the president, that's his brother. To me, that would symbolize him, because he likes Kennedy. But also will relate to Joe. Why? Watch this. And before I go there, Veterans Day, he was at Arlington National Cemetery. And let me explain, he was there 78 days before that. He's 78 years old, y'all. 78 years old. Can you spell scripted allegedly? Let's go further. Let's find him. Joe's birthday is November 20th, coming up. And Kennedy's birthday is also November 20th. That's deep. That's deep. Now let me go a little bit further because I expounded on this thing. I want y'all to hear something. Let me see here. 1335. I forgot where I'm at now, y'all. I forgot my piece. But I believe the point I was making was that let me see. Let me go back to this thing here. Well, that's enough. I think that's enough. Trump is an amateur, y'all. And he got to be real careful. Look, you got to admit, look, and it's good to get these kinks out now. Would you say not? Because y'all know they would have told a hole in this dude. Y'all know it. They got the ethics committee. They got allegedly McCarthy, former Speaker of the House. You know he got allies on both sides of the fence. Come on now. They would have tore a hole in this dude. And that would have probably opened up some other stuff. I ain't saying about him. What I'm saying is that y'all know good and well they would have went hard and deep and embarrassed this dude, because they got a girl out there that says she is the friend, a high school friend of one of the girls he was with. And just put it to you like this. The question is, what age was she? Fill in the blank. He don't need to be going through that. Trump don't need to be going through that. But again, I said in the previous video, I just don't know where it's at. Trump is an amateur still. He got to be cautious and careful. And he should have known better, unless he got a bull head. I'm sure somebody had to pull his coat and say, nah, you can't go with this dude, Trump. I know he can get it done. I know he's going to investigate some things that's been on your plate, because he's been up there for a while. His daddy was a politician. But it don't, they're going to tear him to shreds. Trump, you're throwing him to the wolves. Trump, you're throwing him to the wolves. Unless that was his intent. Pearson, how could you? It's politics, baby. It's politics. It's politics, baby. It's politics. Anything is possible. And maybe he fell for the bait. And if he don't get back and run again and lose his seat as senator because he ran away with it, then guess what? They got him out of there. Who knows what the whole intent was? When they put Al Capone on the microphone in front of Trump the other day and asked him, do you still back Matt Gaetz? Trump had one word, yes. No, I'm not going to change my mind. We don't know what's really going on, people. Now, what we got to do is find somebody who's decent, who still got a little edge in them, like a bulldog mentality, who ain't got too much dirt. It is what it is. And it might be somebody else who can't make through confirmation. Look, people, y'all, anybody over 40-some years old or history buff, y'all know it ain't nothing new. You don't always get a clean slate when you try to get somebody on your team. It's just the way it is. All right, people, enough of that. My name is Fireside Pearson. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Should Trump try to talk him back into it, or just leave it alone? But look at these numbers. This is crazy. Look at it again. Gaetz' birthday. Bobby Kennedy's birthday comes out to Trump's birthday. I'm done.